we're going to go into talking about Squid Game. No spoilers. We're just going to discuss the overall quality of the show and the quality of the characters and the writing. I'd like to go first. I think that the Korean acting and Korean acting in general is usually superb. Very, very
Yes,
good
I
actors in
agree.
this movie and this TV show, and I love it. The dub voice actors need to do better.
Yes, it
We've
was
watched a bunch of
terrible.
dubbed anime on this podcast already. The anime dubs are significantly better than the live action dubs, and that's not even saying that live action dubs are bad because the dark dub isn't terrible.
No, it wasn't bad. It's not necessarily even like them syncing up to the lips. It's not even like that for me. It was just the emotion behind the voice. It was just very monotone.
It was like
Uh,
monotone, and then I feel like they didn't necessarily match what the characters were
Right.
portraying. It was so
Exactly.
weird.
that's okay. That makes sense. I couldn't speak to it because I, of course, watched
Yeah, and you watched the Korean,
the sub
the
version.
subs. Yeah,
Yeah, which is probably smart. I don't know. I was trying to do a couple things at once, so I didn't want to read subtitles to understand what was going on.
same as
Um,
as me. I usually do read subtitles because I'm a big anime watcher.
yeah, no,
And
that's
so,
totally fair.
one thing is, I did hear that the that Netflix was supposedly in trouble or something because the subtitles for the show did not actually match what was being said
Oh,
in Korean.
It
I'm
depends
oh,
not
because
sure
like,
how true that is.
well, I wouldn't know because I don't speak Korean. But localization usually there's not usually don't translate shit. They localize shit, so they take like the initial meaning and they make it as close as they can to English. But they usually change things to match it better. So
okay.
that might be
Well,
what
yeah, I
happened
assume
there.
it's not like a word for word thing, but bare minimum, the if you get the idea of what they're saying across for the most part, then I'm cool with it.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say I put on English subtitles with English voice for a little bit just to kind of see what was matching and what wasn't. That shit was terrible. Like they were all over the place. Like it didn't match up at all. So even that was messed up. So it just takes a little bit better production, I think, and a little bit better organization.
So as far as the plot goes with this series,
Yes.
it's not super original. If you've seen Battle Royale or if you've ever seen or read the anime slash manga Kaiji, you understand the premise of this already, which is like a game where a bunch of people get put into a place and they start dying. People said that was a twist. It's really not a twist. If you read anything or even hear about the show, they tell you right away. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that
not a
didn't like
twist.
surprise me.
No,
No, not
because
at
it would
all.
have been silly for them to go into a game and then, whatever. Like I assumed
Why,
someone was
yeah.
dying initially as soon as they saw the first game.
I was gonna say, why would we watch it if like it was just them going and playing games for money? Like, I mean, it's not a game show.
Yeah, that'd
Like,
just be a game
I'm
show.
I'm not 70.
I will say this: the character writing is pretty good, and
Yes,
it's not meant for you to like all the characters. It's meant for the characters to be well crafted,
And it
exactly.
worked.
right? So they usually are. I would say this is more plot driven versus character driven. Like you're here for the narrative, not necessarily the people in it.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think that this show, while incredible, while good, I wouldn't say incredible. It's not the best show of the year for me,
No.
not by far. But I think it's good. But it shocks me how much this has caught fire. I really don't
Yeah.
understand, especially considering it is foreign, and people don't usually like foreign shit. So I was actually very surprised. But it's actually pretty good, and it's not the worst thing Netflix has ever put out.
No, not at all. Uh,
Absolutely not even close.
I was gonna say it's hard for me to put my bias to the side, obviously, on this one, and just because it's such a popular thing right now, and everybody's just kind of going stir crazy, and we'll talk about it later in our podcast of kind of why people are getting the wrong message from the show. But I did actually genuinely like this, and I agree to the point that it's very much based for you to like the plot, not so much the characters. I didn't walk away from the show being like, you know what, that character was awesome. I loved that character. There's nobody really like that for this.
I
But I
had one or two
would.
of those.
Oh, you did have a one or two. Okay.
I had one or
Um,
two.
I was gonna say I feel like there were enjoyable characters, but there wasn't necessarily that deep like connection to any of the characters. Like I
I
don't
would
know.
agree with that.
But yeah, that's my kind of gist on it.
Yes, Tristan. Anything about the plot for review?
Um, it, I thought they did a good job of making it interesting, even though it's something that I feel like I've seen or been immersed in before. That was my main thing. Like, it just, I thought they did a pretty good job with most of that.
Let's end it with this. Would you recommend this to someone to watch?
Depends on the
Yes,
person.
I would. I personally would. I think without social media and the media in general away from this show, this is actually a genuinely good show, and I would recommend it.
I'd recommend it to like anyone. I know I'm not really. I think this is a good enough show where anyone can watch it and
Yeah.
take something away from it. I think if you don't like it, you're either a weirdo because you don't like foreign stuff, or you just the hype's getting to you, which I
Yes,
understand.
I
But
can
the
understand
show
that.
isn't bad. It's not
No.
bad. I will say that much.
Oh, definitely not.
I would agree with the whole you may not like it because it's foreign thing. I was going to say that some people just may tune off to it just because it's in a different language or that the lips don't match up when you do put it in English. So
It's a bad take.